Oh, all right. Welcome to this gentle yoga practice. This is a small bite. This will be 15 minutes of meditative, gentle asana postures practice, but with the idea of allowing our bodies, especially in the morning, first thing. This is an amazing practice. It can also be done um, before bed perfectly. But the coming into the fluidity and the softness of our body. We'll be balancing the nervous system through the basic movements. We'll be moving with breath and breath continuously through the practice. And it's fairly simple. So this is what I do every morning, and I've been doing this practice since I was 16. Not every morning since I was 16, but many mornings. All right, so the first part of this is you just have a seat. You could be on a chair just as well. And the first part is just, we'll do it together. It's not going to take more than 15 minutes. You're just touching and releasing. We're massaging with just a touch release, soft touch release. We're massaging our limbs all the way to the heart. So it's just a skin touch. Our skin is so sensitive, relates to our nervous system. So that's the head limb. And then we take one of the arms and we touch and release. And sometimes you can spend longer, sometimes you just go more quickly, like what I'm doing now, back to the heart, the other limb, up limb, arm, to the heart, and the lower limbs, foot, up the lower leg, into that pelvic half there, up and to heart, and then the other leg. And this is just easing it out. This moves fluid, it touches the energy channels, balancing to the two hemispheres of your brain, assisting in bringing you to a more central channel, to the heart. And then the mid from the low belly and the low back, the same touch release. And best you can to the heart. All right. Now, interesting posture here is the Virasana. So for many of you, this is going to be a difficult posture to sit down on a block or even two blocks, right? So no worries. You can actually do this up much higher. So you could come block, couple blankets, couple whatever. You have a little yoga, a lot of stuff around you, and it's just this breathing. Feeling, noticing, oh, the sensations in my body have changed. Maybe there's a little more down into the earth through the limbs. Maybe there's even a release through the core. Maybe. Virasana. And we go on. You don't need a long touch in each of these positions. So I'm just seated on the floor. Feel free to have something under your hips so your back can be lifted here, not rounding back. Also feel free to just bend your knees so that your back can be more lifted. All right? And then again, really simple. Just draw one of your legs back. Now this is the Janu Sirsasana, which sometimes would be done very far. And I'm just asking you in the gentle way to turn toward that leg, inhale and exhale, and turn toward the extended leg. Breathing. You may find that the exhaling breaths will take you down, and the inhaling breaths may feel a little refreshing. You watch for it. And here we go. Take it back out, and you can support this action, all the way out to your toes. Spread your toes, maybe wave them a little bit. And then as I bring this leg back, note that I'm not just doing the leg. I'm actually letting my whole body go with it, which is reminding me of the fluidity. And then turning. And I keep my legs like this because it's easier on my knees. It's also easier in my hips. So rather than making a big posture of it, I'm just touching in through the sensation, breathful and rich with attention. Good. And on the inhale, we come up. And exhale. Let's twist. So we draw this one up. Again, it can be a little or a lot. You're looking for comfort, and then wrapping hand around, hand supports in the back. Take a big inhale and yield your weight into the earth. And as you're exhaling, spin around an imaginary, slinky style, empty core. Allow your head to have buoyancy. Breathing. And here we go, coming back. As you're inhaling, begin to come back around. See what you can feel as you do that. And exhale, extend. Remember, your knees might be bent, that's fine, or your hips up pretty high, all fine. And then you're drawing this leg back again. And it's the same thing where you want to see that my whole body's moving. This can be a shearing force in the hip. I've got whole body moving here. The hand supports, it comes up through me, and breathing. It's fine if you go further, of course. I like this, especially in the morning. Not being 16 anymore, I find modifying the postures in ways that I can feel more internally and maybe a little less on the external has been really, really helpful for me. Body and mind. And let's come around and extend. Now, if this one works for you, you can take a wide-angled Baddha Konasana. Again, that's the one where the legs are usually in pretty far. And I'm going to do this. Now, if your back is rounding here, rounding back, take your hands behind you and actually lift up. So you let your tail drop and slide up the front of your spine. Don't push your chest forward, just slide up and peek up a little bit, make it comfortable. That's good. And you can stay there if your back was excessively rounding, or you can exhale, come out and over. Following the wave of the breath and just enjoying, oh yeah, this body's breathing. Right? Good enough. And here we go. You inhale and you come back up. All right, transitioning down onto your front. We come on down and we will come into a Sphinx or a Cobra. So your choice, you can come up a bit higher onto your hands in this, Or you can do what I'm about to demonstrate, which is slip my forearms under me and lift up. This is a great wake up for the spine and a good place to find when you get a little achy in your lower back. Very often, this posture will be helpful. Nice, easy, deep breathing. And perfect. As you come down, traction your body down so you can almost feel, you can really feel, the elongating of your vertebral column as you come down. And then feel free to take a hand for the side of your head as you rest here for a moment or two. Right, so you've got that. And I'm keeping my arms up, my other arm up next to me, right? All right, we're going to take two more down here. So this one, you're going to bring your arms back behind you and clasp. And then as if you're lifting completely from underneath your body. So you go right through your belly organs in the front into the back abdominal wall. You might not come up as far when you're looking for that, but it's good. And then as you rise, reach the manubrium away from the coccyx back down there and the sacrum. Soften your jaws. Your breathing will be slightly restricted, which is good because it's compressing in there. Inhale, and we'll move as you're exhaling. Come on down and rest your head to the other side. Use supports or not, it's okay. And let your back widen here and spill away from your spine. Right? Now our third one is going to be either the posture called Makarasana or Dhanurasana. So Makarasana, if it's not easy to hold your feet back there, which for many people it's not, Makarasana is coming up like this. It's actually a lot harder than Dhanurasana. So that's one option. And the other option is to hold your feet and then you lift up through your knees. You lift from under your deep belly and come up into the bow posture, Dhanurasana. You feel how this is opening up that top chest area that tends to get so contracted. You feel? Ah, good. And then exhale and release down. And again, rest your head to one of your sides. Good. And then hands under you, support from underneath, and push back into child's pose. And that means any version of child's posture. If you can take your knees wide and extend torso out in the center, that's great. And if that doesn't work for you, you can be up in any kind of a quasi kind of child's posture here. Good, and when that feels pretty good, like you have a nice release there, come on back and down. I'll go this way. Back and down. And open your arms out to the sides. Draw your legs up. You can bring them into you and then stabilize them in your back belly. And as you're exhaling, stir your legs over to one side. And then deep in the back belly, you inhale and bring them back up as if you're stirring with a spoon in the back belly, and exhale the other way. Now allow your gaze to start turning with your legs spinning one way and the other. And then come back to the first side and rest. So you could have just your feet on the floor, or you could be all the way till your knees are on the floor, doesn't matter much. What you're looking for is the openness of the spin. All right, and bring it up and take it the other way. And then bring them up again and draw your knees into your chest. You can take your forehead up. You do this until your back feels pretty darn comfortable, and then rest your legs down, constructive rest, which you use feet on the floor, arms open to the sides. If this is more comfortable than extending the legs, you can certainly stay right here and begin to melt the body. Like a warm, deep pool, melting. Whole body, hands, feet. If you like, extend your legs out and melt. You can stay as long or as short as you like in Shavasana, as long as you come to, or constructive rest, as long as you allow yourself to go through a cycle here of melting and releasing. Melting can happen in a minute, but if you're agitated and nervous, it might take a little bit longer to melt. So you be the guide of what you need. So that's one of my favorite gentle yoga practices that I think is effective for everybody. Thank you for watching, and I hope it is helpful for you.